And so 9 times out of 10 it is. And then to see somebody with incredible courage like yourself, because it's one thing to do open carry in New Hampshire or Colorado or Vermont or Arizona at some event or when you're out doing business. But, I mean, when the president's coming around, again, just amazing courage on your part. And I don't think it's really an apology, but more of a correction that, well, we didn't say you were a Fed for sure. We said we'll find out, and we did, and then corrected it. Again, your bold courage and Thomas Jefferson spirit really puts us to shame, so we commend you. But absolutely. What was it like when you were out there? What was it like? You were talking to the fellow who was out there, I guess, a few blocks away from where Obama was at on private property with a handgun strapped to his hip, to his thigh, and the Water the Tree of Liberty quote from Thomas Jefferson.
I was in the thick of the protesting area for a good half hour, 40 minutes, I don't know, at least a half an hour. And many of the state police, the local police, they had walked past me numerous times, countless times already. I'm there holding my sign. And then we see them moving through the crowd looking down. And someone said to me, oh, they're checking people's hands. And, of course, I knew at that moment that, no, they're looking for me. So I just waited there with my sign. And the gentleman who came up to me, Lieutenant McDonald, was very cordial, extremely polite. I saw someone say on one of the comments that, if a cop sees someone with a gun at something like this, they don't just walk up and say hi. Well, that's exactly what happened. He walked up, he introduced himself. He said, would you mind stepping off to the side and speaking with me? I did. We have video of the entire encounter from the time he walked up to the end of it. Very cordial, very polite. I can't.
Is that posted yet? I'd like to play that here because we're also doing a TV show right now.
It is nowhere online as of right now.
We need to get that up on YouTube. That is in.
We were working on that. We've been working on it.
Well, good. Can't wait to see that.
Actually, there were several cameras on scene. So
good. Is there a website that we should look for it to surface on?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, on YouTube, what are you going to call the video? Patriot.
Wow. What do you suggest?
No, I'm just thinking because I want to post it on InfoWars and Prison Planet as soon as it comes up, William. Now.
Yeah, well, as soon as we get it taken care of, you'll be the first to know.
Okay, well, you're awesome.
I'll send you an update.
You bet. Well, I always talk about how we've got to save the gun culture by exercising it openly. Because, I mean, it's gotten to the point in Texas where a carpet cleaner comes to your house and sees a gun case and calls the cops. Because they live in TV land, and they think because everything's based in New York and Chicago on these dramas that those cop shows are real. The general public thinks those actors are real people. I mean, the public's like literally under mind control. And so they come to your house and think your guns are illegal. So what you're doing is invaluable. But what was it like once the national media contacted you? Were you like, how did you do that? I mean, Chris Matthews didn't know what to do. The fact that we're not cowed, that you're not cowed, that people are breaking their spell was just so, and that you weren't apologetic to him, was just devastating.
Well, the way it went down, unremorseful. I think that's the way I'm labeled on the Arianna Huffington site. Amazingly enough. What happened is he went ahead and asked me to, if I was aware of the federal law, 1,000 feet from a school. I said that I was, that there were exceptions to that I was an exception to that, and he called it in. He said basically that that doesn't matter. That because it's a school, is that they can ask me to leave, and if I refuse to leave, then I would be arrested. In fact, for trespassing.
So the cop said this to you?
He did. Once again, he was very polite. He was calling in, checking back with whoever was in charge there. And
but you can't have a slave with a gun near the emperor. Okay.
Well, he did say we're going to have to move you 1,000 feet, and this is where things just got really amazing because I said, where is the 1,000-foot line? And he didn't know, so he got on the phone and started trying to find out. Meanwhile, there's been such a ruckus that these news agencies are starting to come up and talk to me. So actually, it took him about 10 to 12 minutes to get an answer back. Meanwhile, I'm conducting interviews with the Boston Globe, the New York Post. I mean, they're coming up right there. And so he comes back, and he says, well, we're going to ask you to move down to the end of the block, past the barricade. And I said, well, that's more than 1,000 feet. And he's like, well, I don't really know where the 1,000 feet is, but that's what we're going to ask you to do. And he said, I can't even tell you if I would arrest you if you refuse to do that, because, you know, he was clearly not wanting to arrest me, and he wasn't going to do so unless ordered to by higher ups is the impression that I was getting. So at this point, I had to make a judgment call, and I was undecided as to what the right thing to do here was. At that time, he got a call on his cell phone, and who exactly it was, I'm not 100%. I believe that it was the police chief who came through and said that apparently right maybe 30 feet from where I was currently standing when this whole incident started, that there was a church, and that church was private property, and therefore I would be all right there. So instead of pushing the 1,000-foot permit issue, I just moved over, and that's where I stood through the rest of the event.
Well, the issue here is we've been trained by the police that we can't have our rifles in our cars. There's no law. They'll just beat you in the head with a club and find something to take you to prison for. We have to teach them that's illegal and criminal. Even in Texas, we've been castrated. You obviously haven't been in Vermont, Arizona, and New Hampshire, and a few areas of Colorado. I commend you. It's just amazing. We should start a national organization, somebody should, for having these events in numbers. I know the Black Panthers, and I support what they did in Houston, marched armed, because this is our right of free humans. And if we allow them through the common law to restrict us, practice is a large part of the law. And it becomes the common law.